Benjamin Alexander of Jamaica, bib number 83, the former DJ, who fell in love with the Olympic Winter Games after attending 2018 as a spectator. Inspired by the Jamaican bobsleigh team in the Calgary Olympics, he set himself a challenge to become the first alpine skier from Jamaica to participate in the Olympic Winter Games. And here he comes now into the final pitch. For Gates from home, and Alexander will stop the clock. 109 off the pace, 47th position for Benjamin Alexander of Jamaica.
That was for everyone who thinks they don't belong in skiing. Get your kids into winter sports earlier. Let's change the game.
Yeah, so it's a case of mission accomplished for the Jamaican Benjamin Alexander. His plan before these winter games was to navigate the course safely, ensure he didn't fall, complete the course, and let the chips or the flakes fall wherever they may. And on that score, the man has accomplished his mission. What he intended to do in Beijing is now history. The conditions, though, were nothing like he imagined, nothing he had visualized. And if ever the phrase, confronted by the conditions, was ever to be proven right, what happened to the alpine skiers in that event bore out the meaning, the true meaning of that phrase. Welcome to Winter Prime, the evening edition here on SportsMax. Benjamin Alexander completing his run. Not quite the same story for the Haitian history maker Richardson Vaiano and so many others in the event who had a DNF beside their name did not finish because a blizzard came down at the Alpine Skiing Center in that part of China where nobody at all was expecting the conditions to be so oppressive to these men on skis. Good evening again. My name is George Davis, working alongside Chris Taylor in studio with me. Anil Roberts is over there in Trinidad and Tobago, and Audrey Sigree is warming up on the sideline. She's doing a couple of repetitions just to get her arms free and the legs moving. She'll be on in the second segment. Chris, Benjamin Alexander, you have had the pleasure of meeting the man, talk to him about other things. Here he is, skiing in the Olympics, completing the course, and for what he set out to do, being very realistic about what his talent would allow him to do, mission accomplished.
38 years of age, probably his only chance to participate in the Olympics, making sure he did his 2 runs. He did what 35 other skiers didn't do yesterday, which was finish the race. 35 others in the first run didn't finish, so didn't have an opportunity to ski again. And Benjamin Alexander wanted to take in all of this event, all of this opportunity, and he did that. Yes, he finished 46, but as you said, improving his way right along, was 54th after his first run, 46. So valiant attempt by him in very tough conditions. And as you said, mission accomplished.
Yeah, Anil Roberts, the blizzard was a major factor. The conditions were blusterous, and even the snow fairies abandoned the course because the conditions were too oppressive. Yet this man stood on his skis and he finished his 2 runs, as Chris noted, and he did what he set out to do. You can't really be miserable and be curmudgeonly. You can't really ask for more than that.
Well, unfortunately, I'm an Olympic coach, and I believe in the greatness of our Caribbean people. From the West Indies team from 1974 to 1983, the greatest team in the history of sport, to our Nobel laureates, our musicians, our Bob Marley, our Sparrow, Lord Kitchener, our Nobel laureates. And with all due respect, I'm not sure what Jamaica was thinking, because the Olympics is not about who could go down a hill as slowly as possible. With all due respect, I was shocked at what I saw there. I am a different type of human being. If you want to go to the Olympics, work hard, give an effort. I don't care if you come last, but show me the quality, the tenacity, the hard work, the years of dedication. That was not slalom. That was not skiing. It was not aggressive. You reached down to the end. Well, you could have rolled down to the end. With all due respect, I'm not sure what the qualifying standard was utilized by my brothers in Jamaica, But I'm not impressed with that. When you're flying my flag, you must fly it with some sort of pride. It's not a charity. It's an Olympics. And I was not impressed with this at all. I'm very sorry. I hope people are not upset, but I can't lie on SportsMax.
Well, guess what? You know, I toyed with what I would say to set up your input in this segment. And I said, you know what? I suspected you would have said so, given the fact that you've put your beliefs in terms of the competitive spirit and how that must always burn bright. And I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I would have to bait him to say what he really thought. But knowing you, I should have known that you needed no baiting. I deliberately introduced you to the conversation that way because I wanted to provide a contrast between how Chris saw it, how my setup was, and how you would interpret what you saw. And you didn't disappoint me, Anil Roberts. You didn't disappoint me. But let me ask you, Chris Taylor. Let me ask you, Chris Taylor. The senator says, look, these are the Olympics. It's the highest level. You must go there. You must compete. You must bloody your nose if needs be. You must leave everything on the course. It can't be safety first just to complete the course, just to swim the lap in the pool, just to run the race. You have to put everything in it. He says Alexander didn't do that, and he's not cheerleading.
Well, I think Alexander was already behind the 8 ball. I think he was one of the lowest ranked persons coming into the event. Yesterday's conditions, very tough. As you said, 35 skiers did not finish the event, including Vaiano. A lot of skiers went out thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to go down there at top speed and so on, and they ended up 10 feet off the course. So I think his caution was necessary in order to give himself a second run. As you say, at 38 years of age, this is it for him. This is his only opportunity at the Olympics. And as you said, he was already behind the 8 ball. I don't think realistically he saw himself getting close to the medals or within a medal ceremony. So, yeah, I think based on the conditions, especially in the first run, it was tough to see him go in any other way.
Anil, it was a case, if you read Benjamin Alexander's comments pre-competition, that he was intending to be circumspect. And as Chris said, the oppressive nature of the conditions meant he had to be even further within himself than he would if the conditions were normal. Do you still hold to your criticism, your observation that he didn't leave everything out there? Are you still disappointed that he chose safety first?
I'm beyond disappointed. I prefer the 35 who didn't finish. If you're going out there, give it your best. If you crash, I will take that. Furthermore, if you need to be circumspect going to an Olympic Games, and let's talk real now. We are black people. This is Winter Olympics. We are not known for Winter Olympics, just like we weren't known for swimming. When the world brought Eric the Eel in 2000 Olympics, a man from Equatorial Guinea, and they made him into some sort of superhero to promote the myth that black people cannot swim, that we are too heavy, our bones are too dense, our muscles are too thick. And they had this prime example of a black man drowning in an Olympic pool. That is embarrassing. The media laps it up because they like to portray what they used to do in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And when you are a black man going to the Winter Olympics, you don't go there and skate and ski down the slope like a 6-year-old. I'm very sorry. I'm not impressed. Olympics is not for that. You could pay your money and go on a holiday and ski at your own leisurely pace. You could go to a sandals resort in the snow hills of Switzerland and ski like that. That is not Olympic skiing. Look at that. I am very sorry. I hope you all are not upset, but I am not impressed in the least.
You know, Chris, let me tell you, Anil's opinion is not unpopular because reading some comments on social media post Benjamin completing the course, I saw one rather witty take. Someone compared him to, I have to say, this is what is on social media, compared him to a geriatric coming down the ski slopes in Davos, Switzerland, the site of the annual World Economic Forum. And I thought, ooh, that's a bit harsh, even by these standards. I ask you, I say that to ask you, was Benjamin correct? You have supported what he did, but was Benjamin smart to be circumspect, to be safe, just to complete the course? And in contrast, Richard Savaiano probably went to leave it all on the line, all on the course, didn't finish. Are you saying perhaps Richardson would have benefited from taking some of the caution that Benjamin displayed?
Well, I could understand Benjamin taking more caution than Richardson.
Because it's his last goal.
Yeah, Richardson
perhaps.
is 19 years of age. Youthful exuberance. He wants to set the world alight. He will have other opportunities, barring injury. If you listen to Benjamin's statements coming into the Olympics, his thing was about he was the first alpine skier from Jamaica to compete. He was a flag bearer. That was a gold medal for him. He just felt great just being there, considering he's only been skiing for 2 years. So his situation coming in, his thing was about participation. So he accomplished his goal. I understand Anil's standpoint, but at the end of the day, it's what the athlete wants to achieve. And I think Benjamin's thing was that he was here the first.
Yeah.
And he wanted to make sure that he did it right through. He improved as he went on.
But Chris, let me take it from you and come back to Anil. Anil, isn't this the reason, though, that we have the Olympics? We have professional sports. We have people who train every day in their various fields of endeavor and go hard all the time. But isn't the Corinthian spirit, the Olympic spirit, what the Olympics are about, where rank amateurs participate, lay down markers for future generations, and break barriers, opening the vesicle, opening the pathway for others to come flooding through after. And in that, is your criticism of Mr. Alexander not a tad too harsh, my learned friend?
No, I'm being quite diplomatic. It's about your definition of a benchmark. I do not even consider what he did alpine skiing. That was coming down a mountain very gingerly, like I would with my old self, climbing down the hill with my daughter if we go up on a hike. The Olympics is not about participation. It's about the best of the best. Jamaica, the Caribbean, has a history of performance at the Olympics. We are not just there to participate. We are there to leave our mark. We've left our mark on the world in all sorts of spheres, from business to literature, to academics, to sport. And that is what the level we stand. If I was the president of Jamaica Olympic Committee, he would not have gone to the Olympics. I rather not go than to send someone to say they participated. We are not going out to dinner. We're not going out to eat chips. We're not there to travel. This is not a fun park. It's about great performance, trying your best and qualifying. I don't know how we even reached, with all due respect.
Hear you on that, my friend. So we have two sharply divergent views on the performance of Benjamin Alexander, and I'm very happy we have two sharply discordant views on Benjamin Alexander. It adds texture to the Winter Prime Evening Edition. I'm loving the show right now, and I hope you are too, hearing the studied and reasoned opinions of Mr. Chris Taylor and Senator Anil Roberts. We leave you now. Before we go, though, we have to mention the winner of the Alpine Skiing Contest, Marco Odermatt, the man who came down the fastest, showing class, showing skill, showing bravado in the harsh conditions going down. And looking at this, Anil Roberts will tell you, well, this is what people turn on their TVs to see. This is what the Olympics are all about. I can hear Anil saying over there in the background. And look at him. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. Yeah. So Odermatt, you're a gold medalist in this event. As we break, Anil, as we break, Chris, let me tell the viewers, since we're talking about a black man, because Alexander is the son of a black man and a British mother, a black person doing something that Anil would be proud of. Let's, at this point, Anil, as we go to the break, cheer Miss Erin Jackson, a Floridian, the first black woman to win an individual gold medal in Winter Olympic history. She won gold in the 500-meter short track sprint skating event. She did not make the USA Olympic team. She slipped at the trials, and her friend, her teammate, gave up her spot for her. Brittany Bowe gave Erin Jackson her spot. Erin Jackson took that spot and went further with the on the back of that goodwill, that powerful gesture. She took the gold medal and cemented her place as the #1 speed skater in the 500-meter short track in the world. That is a brilliant story. That is what Anil Roberts likes. That's what Chris Taylor understands. But at the same time, they disagree about Benjamin Alexander. Back with more on Winter Prime, the Evening Edition. I'm loving it. After the break, much more.
short-track speed skating at Beijing 2022, and it's Xiaoang Liu of Hungary who started magnificently. Behind him, the youngster Konstantin Ivliev of ROC. And there's two racing away with this. What a distance they've opened up over the rest of the field, with Dubois and Canada in third place. But it's a two-skater race at the moment. Xiaoang Liu of Hungary, half Chinese, half Hungarian. They hit the bell. What does Konstantin Ivliev have left? One has gone down. But that is of no consequence to Xiaoang Liu through the blizzard of Beijing. It is the man who is half Hungarian, half Chinese, who takes gold.
Yeah, were he Chinese, he'd be known as Xiaoang Lu, as you heard the commentator says, but because he's Hungarian, the son of a Chinese father, a Hungarian mother, we say Lu Xiaoang. He is the gold medalist for Hungary in this event. As the graphic says, Hungary's first ever individual gold medal in any event at the Winter Olympics, and just their second gold medal overall. They won a team gold medal a few years ago with the 5,000 meters skating team relay. But Xiaoang Lu Xiaoang, creating history. And yeah, there's the pile-in from his Hungarian teammates. This is what it's all about. Chris Taylor denying his rivals the space to come inside or to pass him on the outside. Technically brilliant, and a bit of a daredevil involved in winning gold, in winning any medal in this event. And Lu Xiaoang deserves his gong.
Very exciting race. You spoke about the female 500 meter and what it meant, and look at this. Excellent work by him, the 23-year-old. And as I say, a lot of experience and a lot of accidents going on as well. But yes, this goes with two bronze medals that he has won so far in the Olympics. So it's been an excellent 2022 Beijing for him. And as you said, mixed countries in his background, coming in here. Has a brother who skates as well in the mixed relay team. In turn, Shaolin is actually his name. Won a bronze medal in the relay as well. So brothers here again performing well, and great to see him put down a performance like that. As you say, Hungary's first ever individual gold medal in speed skating, and the performance was immaculate.
Yeah, here you have it now, Anil Roberts. A performance that will meet every criterion, every single criterion that you have set down about what it means to compete at the Olympics. This Hungarian has met them all.
He's met them all, and as you said, he deserves his gong. I will call him Junior Gong. He was so brilliant, amazing. The speed that he came out with, the mere fact that he was bringing history for Hungary, and the mix. He's a sort of a dobla, a Chinese-Hungarian mix. It's not a normal mix. And when you saw him and the Russian obliterate the field like that, you knew that something special was going on. His technique, he is a blend of anaerobic power and athletic skill. He's like an ice skater, and he could probably do some pirouettes and some spins in the air as the ice skaters do, because the maneuvers he was making with flawless balance, his low center of gravity, and his aggressive nature, it was fantastic. And to see the celebration of the Hungarians, that's what the Olympics are. He epitomizes brilliance, intelligence, hard work, skill, and genetics. Amazing.
Yeah, and I want to make sure of something here, Anil. It's not Hungary's first gold medal in the speed skating. It's their first individual gold medal in any event. Reuters says that the 10 Winter Olympic medals that Hungary has won, this is the first individual gold medal in any event, and I'm going with that. So this makes the scale of the accomplishment even more, the weight of history on his back, on his skates, and he carried them with the greatest speed of any competitor in a really high-class field. I saw one athlete crash into the boundary, the barrier, and I saw Chris Taylor flinch. Yeah, but Chris, never mind. It's heavily padded. Look at that, heavily padded. He feels no pain. Let's talk now about the Dutch women in that relay and the performance that gives. Perhaps it is that in the way that the Germans have dominated the sliding events on the speed skating track. The Dutch women, peerless. You can go with that.
The Dutch have been brilliant. Susanne as well was a main person in that. Shirley was a main person in that relay team, and she was excellent as well, as you said. Breaking the Olympic record. and winning gold, dethroning the 2018 champions, the Koreans, who were probably a slight favorite coming in, but I think really a beautiful performance. As I said, when you see the relays in the speed skating, always very confusing. I mean, but it's well choreographed, I must say, in terms of how the athletes touch, how the athletes take over from each other. But yes, the Dutch certainly on top in the ring this Olympics.
Anil, does this look like something you used to do in the summertime on the savannah with your friends as a boy?
Well, I would not have been on the roller skates, but back in our day, they started at St. Anthony's College on roller rink, but I was never into that. I was more into swimming and football. But what I must say is, you can compare this Dutch team to the Jamaican women in the Summer Olympics. If they were to lose this, the only way they could lose it is if they fell down, crashed, tripped, and because they could have fallen down, gotten back on the track and won. They are as good as the Jamaican quartet in the summer game. And this was just a coronation of brilliance. It was amazing. There was no competition. They could only beat themselves. And that's what it's about. Great teamwork, great coaching. Everything came together for the Dutch on the short track.
Yeah, absolutely high praise for the Dutch team from Anil Roberts, comparing them to the awesome foursome that blitzed the field in that women's 4x100 meters at the Tokyo Summer Games. We take a break here on Winter Prime, the evening edition. When we are back, the men of discord, only one will remain, Anil Roberts. Chris Taylor gets an early night tonight, and he'll be replaced by Audrey Segre, who'll be sitting in that analyst's chair. Back with us on Winter Prime, the evening edition. We look forward to heats 3 and 4 in the monobob. There's a graphic that the Olympics use that says women's monobob. They're being tautologous because the monobob is only being contested by women. It's an event for women, and I rather doubt that there'll be in subsequent Olympics, in future Olympic Games, a men's monobob, because the men have so many sled events already. And don't forget that they kept women out of sled events until the Salt Lake City Games in 2002. Audrey Segre is with me as we look forward to what Mrs. Fenner Victorian can do in heats 3 and 4, those two runs. We spoke last night about the technical issues that needed correcting. You said that the issues that confronted her and which affected her in the first run, you saw them repeated in the second run. Perhaps not enough time between the two runs for her to make any real and lasting adjustments, but you would expect, given the woman, her intelligence, the wisdom of her coach, the support around her, that there are some things you fully expect her to iron out some of those kinks ahead of run 3 and certainly for run 4 today.
Yes. For run 3 and 4, especially run 3, I'm looking for her. I'm hoping that she gets 7-8. That straight away, that's really nagging her. I would love for her to also get the exit of 2 and not to get that hit before going into 3. I'm expecting her to be consistent with her start at even better.
Yes.
Getting a better finish time also. I saw where she posted her sister like 15 minutes ago. Again? Yes. Yeah. She's saying one last time, one last fly, let's fly free, something like that. And with that feel, I get from the camp that she's okay. I'm assuming that she's putting yesterday behind her, being positive for her sister and herself, and put the best foot forward. She's already in history. She paved the way. She's paving the way for other females, for Jamaica, for the Caribbean. You can't take that from her. I'm proud of her, and I know she's going to do her best. She's a fighter, regardless of if she continues to have that issues on the track driving. I know her. I know she's not sitting in the sled just, taking what she gets.
Yes.
She's trying her best to better her runs, because I know she said she might have this objective, like, I need this for myself. This is the icing on the cake. I'm going to fight to the end. If I get it, yes. If not, I did fight.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes. Anil, here's a woman who is not just in class for the teacher to mark her present. She is here to get the very best test score that she really, really can. We saw what she did in those first 2 runs. Your hope for her for runs 3 and 4.
First of all, I'm very proud of her effort. I can see the work that has gone in for years. You can see the class, you can see the start, you see the coordination, you see the focus, you see the visualization, you see the ability to make changes on a course that she was not able to get as many runs as the other people. She is performing at the best. You can see her heart and soul, you can feel it. You can see her coming down, and she looks similar to the best in the world. That's what the Olympics is about. As a coach, I can be proud of that. We can go and we can get licks, we can lose, we don't have to win all the time, but we have to perform at the highest level. She is trying her best, getting out there. I can see her trying to tweak things. As we said, it's very difficult at those speeds because the course is such an elite level course that if you don't have that delicate touch, it's like a golfer playing and using a wedge to get up on greens that are super fast. And if you don't stop the ball perfectly, a shot that could end up 2 feet from the hole could end up 6-10 yards away and off the green. That's the kind of course that we're seeing. So I'm looking for her to get a great start again, to just keep her hands a little softer. Don't overcorrect, and try to maintain that early speed. When it goes up, don't panic, relax, and let the course take you down for a good time. But I'm very impressed with her, and she deserves to be an Olympian, and she espouses all the tenets of a great athlete.
Thank you very much for that, Senator Roberts. Audra, I've wanted to ask you this question since last evening's show. I said I'd leave it until today. Oftentimes, people analyzing the bobsled events, whether it's 2-man, 4-man, monobob, whatever. One of the criticisms that is made, or one of the observations made, and it's not an unfair observation, is that the athlete, the driver, should oversteer. So I'm very happy I have someone who's been in one of those machines before to ask the question, how difficult is it to not oversteer?
It is difficult. When you have experience, I would say it's not, but for a newbie, it can be, because remember, it's something new to you, and you want to get it right. So you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here," and try to force it, and then you're gonna put yourself in a difficult position. Bobsled is more of a gentle steer. This is a steer.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Subtle, yes.
It's a steer.
Yeah.
But some will go yank we call it in bobsled. Yank the sled. And especially when they're in difficulties,
yes.
they do emergency steers. So,
and it's a split second decision.
yeah, it's a split second, like oops.
You can't think about should I?
Yeah,
because
because remember, after you make that split second decision, there's a next corner. You have to focus on that corner. So mentally, you have to be mentally strong, mentally focused when you're a driver. And I applaud these ladies. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Even though, like, some of the ladies that are in the competition, they're not where I know they want to be.
Yeah.
But it's a part of the game. It's hard. It's difficult. And monobob, some of the drivers, they rather 2-woman.
Yes.
You understand? So monobob now is giving some of them a warm time. So, it's just a part of the sport. It's the weather, everything adds up in bobsled.
Yeah.
So
I guess the question is, can anything beat Kaylee Humphries for the gold medal. Based on what we saw yesterday, it appears not. Well, the motorbob begins at 8:30 Jamaica time, 9:30 where Anil Roberts is, 9:30 for people outside Jamaica. This is a live shot of the facility where the motorbob will be taking place, and Senator Victoria will come in 19th of the 20 motorbob competitors. She'll be number 19 on the grid, for want of a better explanation, and you can see that event live from 8:30 Jamaica time, 9:30 outside Jamaica, live right here. Alan Roberts, that's all the time we have, Senator. All the best. Great talking to you as usual, and I look forward to your input on Monday's show. And thank you, Audra. We'll talk again, of course, looking at what Jasmine would have done in heats 3 and 4. Thank you to Chris Taylor, who was here for the early segment. That's it, folks. That's all. We turn it over to the live feed and remind you that at 9:30 Jamaica time, 8:30 Jamaica time, 9:30 outside Jamaica, the motorbob comes up, and the Senator Victorian will be 19th of the 20 competitors.